Please excuse the audio if it's not fixed by now or then or whatever. So I guess I want to talk about um, Pikmin. No, something. um, I think maybe I want to talk about companies like Nintendo and DC Comics and how they sort of related in my perspective. So Nintendo always has like a plan. They have some sort of hidden blueprint that they follow, and I think that they look at this blueprint and they never consider other people. I mean, for the most part, I think that honestly, for the most part, I think Nintendo looks at this secret blueprint, or there's like one guy running Nintendo and he tells them what to do. I mean, look at the Wii U and tell me that that is not the prototype for the Switch, Nintendo Switch. Look at how many games they put out on it, and tell me that they weren't just preparing for the Nintendo Switch. I like the Wii, I really do, but I'm sorry for all that noise. There's a you may hear that a couple times in this call, and I apologize, but can't turn it off for certain reasons, but Nintendo has a plan, and that plan consisted of maybe 13 hit games for the Wii U. And when I say 13 hit games, I think it needs to be mentioned that if you, as a company that produces games, produce even one game that's just great, it's just something that makes your company remembered for that. Like, this game is one of your favorite games of all time. This is a worth playing game. This is a game you'll come back to for years and years to come. And Nintendo created games like that. Now, with this Splatoon 2 and the Mario Kart Deluxe and the Pokken Tournament Deluxe and, more games possibly like that to come, it will be hard for, make the argument that these games are so unique, and that the Wii U is the only system to play these on, and so the Wii U will always be the treasure trove for these games. But and Breath of the Wild, coming out for both Wii U and Nintendo Switch, not that anyone will remember that because it came out for Wii U and Nintendo Switch. And the problem with that to me is, well, it's not a problem. I mean, it's not a bad thing for anyone, but it's just that, you give all these 10 out of 10 accolades for this game that came out both on Nintendo Switch and the Wii U, but it's kind of like Dracula's, not Dracula's, but Van Helsing. There's I think a vampire hunter, and he was a respected professor. That's part of his lore, but he's most famous for being a vampire hunter. But most people will not recognize the part about the professor because, it's the whole vampire hunter thing. And I'm just trying to make the point that there were several games I just want to mention, go out of my way to mention. Xenoblade Chronicles X, great game, phenomenal game, amazing game. Trying to look at my hair here. This is all crazy. I'm going to do something with it. Xenoblade Chronicles X, Mario Maker. That's probably going to the Nintendo Switch because it's really hard. I just wish they. It almost makes me mad. Mario Kart, Wii U. I'm gonna call it Mario Kart 8. That I don't know why. That I'm sorry, my brain, but and then Pokken Tournament is now Pokken Tekken Deluxe is now, it's now coming over to the Switch. And it's just that there were games that were just so standout material for these systems. And, it is, I don't know, they're pulling the Battlefront 1 to Battlefront 2, EA's Battlefront 1 to Battlefront 2. Like, the fact that EA is able to produce Battlefront 2 and it look like this and it feel like this, and everything is only a testament that Battlefront was their prototype. Battlefront was never going to consider to be, this is the only game, we're going to make a sequel after this. It was already in the works. And because of that, like, it was almost half a game. It was always half a game. And I'm not saying that in Nintendo's case. I'm just saying that, you know, obviously Nintendo had a plan to release these games on Wii U and Nintendo Switch all along. Like, it's not that they were so popular and Nintendo's like, oh, okay, let's dump them all over. Nintendo doesn't really do that. I mean, Nintendo might do that for games like Pokemon Yellow or Pokemon Yellow, a lot of virtual console titles, you know, like Fire Emblem Radiant, no, not Radiant Dawn, but Fire Emblem something Echoes of Shadows. Like, I'm not sure the titles of these games. I'm not sure if Advance Wars came to Virtual Console. I want to say it did. I hope it did for a lot of people out there who like that series. I think Battalion Wars 1 and 2. You gotta play that. Go play it. Go do it. Go do it right now. Great, amazing game that's gonna. Because the only thing I hate about when people mention Advance Wars, I mean, it's not why I hate it. It's just that when you mention a game and it's kind of similar, it's really not so similar. It's like, if anything, it's like, it's what Advance Wars is what Battalion Wars could have been on a first person or third person perspective. You know, you're inside the battlefield. You're inside those choices. Because it really, I mean, I think they may have been by the same. I'm gonna look it up after this. If Battalion Wars may be in the works again. I hope so. Hope it's not forgotten. But you know, Nintendo. I mean, the thing is, Nintendo doesn't have, and this is. I feel like I'm the only one. I'm gonna try to get some more light available. I'm the only one crying for this. You know, there really aren't any strategy games for Nintendo, or a lot of. Well, I want to say a lot of consoles, like, you know, Sega and Microsoft. They have their little things, like the XCOM series or Halo Wars, or, you know, I can't really mention too many. I mean, I know that they do exist, but I mean, Nintendo doesn't even really have. It only has like for Wii U, for instance, it had a very limited third-party support, and when it did, as far as strategy games are concerned, the only kind of strategy games for Wii U, I mean, if you want to, like, you know, say that anything's a strategy game, or just expand the genre to include things that do include strategy, but are mainly another kind of element. Fire Emblem, Tokyo Mirage. I can't remember the other title that's mixed in with that, but you know, Fire Emblem. That's the Tokyo Mirage, yeah. So that was the only. No, it wasn't the only, but there are really, really, really few, and not as big a title as there could be for Nintendo. You could say Pikmin, but is there really a strategy to the extent that we'd want strategy to be? I mean, to me, it felt a lot more like Pikmin 2 was definitely more on the strategy, and Pikmin 3 was, you know, going back to a more puzzle element. So, but Pikmin. And I want to talk about DC. You know, try because no, I'm talking about Nintendo. Well, Nintendo. Well, I guess I made my point, but that it's that Nintendo. What is the point? You know, Nintendo actually. I don't even think for this time it's completely me, not completely me, that it went all over the place. It's Nintendo who's got this master plan that nobody can figure out. I mean, selling an older version of your console. I mean, older console. Well, a box, so to say, of a console you had years ago, reselling it, making like 2 million sales the Super NES, and or the NES, excuse me, and you what you do with it is you say, oh, okay, well, we're done selling those because this was supposed to be a limited, like, it's almost like who does this? Who operates a business where you're like, oh, well, we don't want to make any more money right now based on this thing because I mean, there is some merit to focusing your marketing like to certain things, but it's like at that point, anyone buying the Nintendo that I don't know, that's a whole nother video, but it's like, whoever's buying this thing still are people who are really old who are never going to get in the Switch, might get in the Switch because they realize Nintendo's still doing stuff. Who I don't know. Nintendo is a mystery. I tell you, selling out. Never even it was. It's the same thing with the Nintendo Switch right now. Like, how do you not have? It's been months. And you're like, I don't have one right now because of I just want to buy a Nintendo Switch. That's it. And I don't want to buy any games. I don't want to bundle anything. And I've been holding out for that one reason. Yeah, I'm not a real Nintendo fan. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just, anyone wants to believe that, it's fine. But, and everywhere I go, it's like, if anything, most of the bundles themselves are also sold out, and then so I gotta wait for the bundle, and they gotta pre-order that, and then that's gonna ship, but I gotta make sure to pre-order before it sells out of the pre-orders. Like, then are you trying to make money? Like, I don't know. I think things will definitely turn around in the fall, or at least toward the holiday season. I think we'll really see a really big wave of that we've never seen before in gaming in the last, at least not in the last 10 years. Switches falling off the shelf, and kind of the true golden age of gaming, I think, will occur, and we'll see a different age than we expected. But talk about DC real quick, just to talk about. So DC Comics has animated movies, has comics, has TV shows, and then has their live action movies. And similar to Nintendo, DC does make decisions ahead of time. Like, everything is pre-decided. The New 52, if you're a part of the comic book universe and you kind of understand what that is, even I half understand it, but I'm not so into, I want to get more and more into comics, but I'm not yet. But they were basically like 52 new titles and something like that. But they were based on a lot of some older characters, some new, and they were kind of just giving different characters different series, and there were 52 of them and stuff like that. But then Rebirth came out, which came out like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I don't know. Rebirth came out, and Rebirth looks amazing. The art looks amazing. The story, everything seems like DC has, like, this has been the evolution of DC up till now. And this evolution has created this super child. And apparently, and this is another thing, like Wonder Woman and Superman, apparently, like, looking at different perspectives over the years, you can see that DC has been trying to make this slowly happen. Wonder Woman and Superman, the ultimate power couple, ha ha ha. Like, no, first of all, that's, I would give Superman to like another Superwoman if that's what you wanted to go for here, or I don't know, but I feel like Wonder Woman's kind of becoming I don't know, Storm of X-Men, or a better example would be the. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I could really give an example, but I'm just trying to say that they've placed Wonder Woman with different people before, and they've done that with Superman too. Although, like Wonder Woman, Superman's has his main love interest, Lois Lane, but has gone to these these different people. But now it's a thing where it's like, so it's now happening in TV shows. It happened in the New 52 universe. I don't know about Rebirth. Um, it happened in the TV shows. I already mentioned that. Both the animated movies, the animated movies and the animated TV shows, or some of them, or the most recent one, Justice League Action, and then, but not in the live action, and I don't think it will happen in the live action. So, but if you look at, like, for instance, the live action, Cyborg, at least. That's probably the best example there of what the argument I'm trying to make, if not successfully. But he was part of the original Justice League, and for the last 7-8 years, they've been putting him back in as part of the TV series, as part of this TV series, if possible, part of at least the animated universe, and definitely the comic book universe. They've been kind of putting him in, putting him out, but now Rebirth has occurred. And I think he's in for good. Although I want to say he's in the Titans as well, but he's not. I don't think so. I haven't really caught. I have this plan on how I'm going to catch up with Rebirth. I'm trying to accumulate the history before I get into Rebirth, like trying to go through DC and then get into Rebirth and blah blah blah, because that'd be a lot better that way. But at the point I'm trying to make, that DC, I give them too much credit for things like Rebirth that I think are amazing. Honestly, this is what should be expected of DC, and there's nothing that they're just I think deserve a clapping ovation for. I mean, but there is pretty great stuff, except for the live action movie. I think they're literally, the TV shows, great, but they're also the TV shows, they're trying to kind of be similar, parallel to how the comics and TV shows and anime movies take place, but they're not going to limit themselves, and they shouldn't, because they should be their own universes. I don't even know if I like the idea of these combined. Well, they were the first to do it, though. They were the first to do it. They kind of looked at Marvel and were like, "Hey, you're gonna do this with movies. Well, we're gonna do this with TV shows. We'll be the first, and everyone will see that." I don't know, something, but you can see like the Arrowverse. Arrow, Flash, Supergirl. Well, it's not same Earths, but the same general universe. And I don't know if Gotham is ever gonna play a factor in. I don't think it is, probably. And then I think Black Lightning is coming out, and that's kind of their answer to Luke Cage, honestly, I think. In a way it is, anyways. So anyways, but they really set up, and they've been doing that for years anyways, the TV series. So honestly, if you think about it, I don't know, the way they've kind of done it, it almost gave Marvel its kind of general formula how we're going to create the cinematic universe. But not the crossovers exactly, but the TV shows DC has always had, Smallville, the old Wonder Woman show, the Supergirl. They kind of looked at this as a stepping stone. But again, the point trying to make, that DC is trying to combine all its things into one. Like, they're trying to, instead of always doing this separate diverse thing, they're trying to kind of slowly make everything like almost completely similar, and maybe keep it there, or just form into one thing. In TV show, whatever, across the board, it may be a different story, but these are this character with this background, this these powers belong. Nothing's gonna change, yeah. But I don't have any more time. Well, I have more time. I could talk later. But also, don't like Supergirl with white heat beams. That's stupid. I know it's scientifically correct, but no, that's just no. All right, see you.